There is nothing wrong with wanting love, marriage, support, companionship, or shared life. There is nothing wrong with wanting a man beside you, but wanting partnership is not the same thing as needing partnership in order to be valuable. That difference matters. It matters because when you do not understand it, you will tolerate things you should never tolerate just to keep appearances. You will cling to relationships that dishonor you just to avoid social shame. You will think being chosen is proof of worth, when in reality, some people are chosen and still deeply mistreated. Being chosen is not the same as being valued. Being married is not the same as being honored. Being provided for is not the same as being respected. And a woman who understands her intrinsic value will know the difference. She will know that companionship can be beautiful, but it is not the source of her humanity. She will know that provision can be helpful, but it is not the source of her dignity. She will know that marriage can be meaningful, but it is not the source of her completeness, because her value did not begin when someone arrived, and it will not end if someone leaves. That is the truth. Let me say something clearly, because a lot of people still do not understand this. A woman has value whether she is partnered or not. A woman has worth whether she is married or not. A woman has dignity whether a man chooses her or not. A woman has completeness as a human being whether she is standing beside a man or standing by herself. And the fact that so many people struggle to understand this tells me that many still do not know the difference between intrinsic value and added value. Those are not the same thing. Intrinsic value is the value you have because you are a human being, because you have a soul, because you exist, because your life has meaning beyond what you own, what you are attached to, or what anybody does for you. Added value is different. Added value is what a relationship may bring, what money may bring, what support may bring, what companionship may bring, what comfort may bring. Those things can improve quality of life. They can make life easier. They can make life sweeter. But they do not create your worth. And that is why so many people get it wrong. Because many people look at a woman and think her value rises when she is chosen by a man, especially a man with money, status, or social standing, as if being attached to a male counterpart somehow upgrades her humanity, as if partnership gives her dignity, as if marriage gives her personhood, as if being somebody's woman is what finally makes her complete. No, that's not true. That's not intrinsic value. That is social conditioning. And I think we need to challenge it honestly. Because if a woman's value depends on being chosen by a man, then what happens if the man dies? Does her value die with him? If her value depends on his money, then what happens if the money disappears? Does her value disappear too? If her value depends on proximity to a man, then is her value borrowed? Is it rented? Is it temporary? Is it something she only gets to wear when male approval is present? That makes no sense. Because value that can evaporate with circumstance is not intrinsic value. It is dependency. It is attachment. It is borrowed social status. It is external reinforcement. And people need to stop confusing those things with the value of a soul. A woman can be partnered and valuable. A woman can be single and valuable. A woman can choose companionship and still be whole. A woman can choose solitude and still be whole. Because her worth does not begin at the altar. Her dignity does not begin at the altar. Her humanity does not begin at the altar. Marriage does not create her value. Marriage may add things to her life, yes. Companionship may add things to her life, yes. Shared burdens may add things to her life, but addition is not creation. And this is the question I keep asking. Did God ordain marriage to give women value? Or did God ordain marriage for partnership? Because I do not believe God created marriage to rescue women from worthlessness. I do not believe he looked at woman and thought, she isn't complete as a human being until a man stands beside her. No, I believe marriage was ordained for companionship, partnership, mutual support, fruitfulness, shared purpose, but not to manufacture the dignity of either person. A man has worth unmarried. A woman has worth unmarried. Marriage does not create human value. It joins to people who already have it. And this is where the hypocrisy comes in. Many people will say, A woman who is with a man, especially a rich man, a man who pays bills, a man who provides, is more valuable than a woman who is doing life by herself, struggling, building, surviving alone. But again, that is not the value of the woman. That is the value of the resources around her. And people keep making the mistake of measuring the woman by the comfort around her. Those are not the same thing. A woman with comfort is not automatically more valuable than a woman without comfort. A woman with a provider is not automatically more valuable than a woman without one. A woman with status is not automatically more valuable than a woman without status. Circumstances are not the soul. We need to understand this. And this confusion is so dangerous because it creates a culture where women are taught to see themselves through male proximity, male approval, male provision, and male presence. It teaches women to think, I am more because I have him, instead of understanding, I am already someone, whether I am partnered or not. And once people believe a woman's value depends on a man, it becomes easier to mistreat her. That just being beside her is the value. That because he is with her, that he has upgraded her life enough to justify bad behavior. So he can be careless, he can be toxic, he can be disrespectful, he can be emotionally irresponsible, because somewhere in his mind, he believes, after all, I am the value. That mindset is dangerous because it turns women into people who are expected to tolerate mistreatment in exchange for validation. It turns men into people who think their existence is enough contribution. It turns relationships into systems where women are made to preserve access to a man at all costs because they have been told that without him they are less. And society reinforces this all the time. If a relationship fails, if a marriage breaks, if a man leaves, people so often turn to the woman first and ask, what did you do? What happened? Why couldn't you keep him? What is wrong with you? The shame falls on her. And this happens because deep down, many still believe that a woman's social value is tied to whether she can keep male presence in her life. So when that presence is gone, they act as though something essential has been lost from her identity. But again, that only makes sense if you believe her value was borrowed in the first place. I do not believe that. And I also think this same distorted mindset harms men too, because many men have also been socialized to believe that their value is tied almost entirely to what they can provide materially. So when money is low, when life is rough, when they are not winning, they disappear, they withdraw, they go silent, they avoid people, they feel ashamed to be seen without visible proof of success. Why? Because they too have been taught to confuse human worth with external output. So now women are told their worth is being chosen, and men are told their worth is in producing, and both are dehumanized by a system that values function more than personhood. That is why people need to wake up. People need to wake up. A human being is more than what they have, more than what they produce, more than who they are attached to, more than what they can provide, more than whether they are chosen, more than whether they are rich, more than whether they are married. And this is why I keep coming back to intrinsic value, because intrinsic value is the value that remains when the money is gone, when the relationship is gone, when the title is gone, when the provider is gone, when the applause is gone, when the status is gone. If everything external falls away, are you still valuable? My answer is yes, because your worth is your humanity. Your worth is in the fact that you are a person, not a product, a soul, not a status symbol, a human being, not an accessory to everyone else's life. And when people understand that, they will stop worshipping attachments and start honoring people. They will stop measuring women by whether a man chose them. They will stop measuring men only by whether money is flowing. They will stop confusing support with worth, comfort with dignity, partnership with personhood. And yes, let me say this too. A woman can absolutely choose to be partnered. There is nothing wrong with wanting love, marriage, support, companionship, or shared life. There is nothing wrong with wanting a man beside you, but wanting partnership is not the same thing as needing partnership in order to be valuable. That difference matters. It matters because when you do not understand it, you will tolerate things. You should never tolerate just to keep appearances. You will cling to relationships that dishonor you just to avoid social shame. You will think being chosen is proof of worth, when in reality, some people are chosen and still deeply mistreated. Being chosen is not the same as being valued. Being married is not the same as being honored. Being provided for is not the same as being respected. And a woman who understands her intrinsic value will know the difference. She will know that companionship can be beautiful, but it is not the source of her humanity. She will know that provision can be helpful, but it is not the source of her dignity. She will know that marriage can be meaningful, but it is not the source of her completeness, because her value did not begin when someone arrived, and it will not end if someone leaves. That is the truth. Redefine your narrative. A woman is not valuable because a man chose her. A woman is not valuable because money surrounds her. A woman is valuable because she is a human being with a soul, and anything added to her life should complement her value, not define it. God bless you.